let's have a slight discussion about understanding used car sellers. The biggest questions are from people: where to buy the used car from, how to check used car sellers, right? It is a very tricky game. My honest answer is I don't really know, right? From who to buy, because you need to understand as a buyer the used car market, right? The used car market obviously is buy low, sell high. Everything goes through the cycle, through the wash machine cycle, right? Um, and everyone gets the cars from auctions, right? Or from like intermediate people like brokers, right? Not brokers, but like now you have platforms like similar like We Buy Any Car, but obviously We Buy Any Car sold the cars for themselves for British car auctions, right? And whatever junk they get, good, bad, ugly, it goes to be sold the cars for themselves for British car auctions, right? And whatever junk they get, good, bad, ugly, it goes to BCA, right? That's how they get in their cars quicker and cheaper, because they don't have to physically go out to the personal people. They go to them, ordinary people selling their junk, so good cars, right? And it goes to the British car auction. So what you need to understand as a used car buyer, this is how used cars getting back into the trade, right? They're getting back on a forecourts where you drive past any small Tom, Dick, and Harry selling cars, or some biggest traders, smaller traders, right? That's how cars get back into the market, right? Some cars get scrapped, some cars get sold, or some cars private sellers scrap themselves because it's junk. It's too engine failed. The car is probably £1,000, and the engine repair is 3-4 grand repair, and they just scrap it, right? Because they understand it's just a scrap value at the end of the day. But however, for 120 years, this is how it has been, right? It's whether you're selling it privately, you advertise somewhere. Probably the biggest platform would be sort of Auto Trader, and then the dodgy, shady after 2000s is eBay, like everyone knows. But however, I'm not gonna talk about that, right? But just so you understand how cars get back from new into second-hand market, right? Trading's back to main dealer, or then it's been offloaded through various platforms where traders purchase them, buy low, sell high bases, and they prep them. That's what they say, and they put it back in the market and sell them again to you, used car, as a used car buyer, right? So, so where the problem starts? The problem starts with everyone sells loads of, let's say, shit junk, leftovers from auctions, right? So not everyone can get to. Probably everyone have. Probably not every trader, based on their volume, what they're buying from, doesn't matter what auction it is, they can get to sort of higher priority and get the best of the cars, right? You can probably split these auctions in two ways, where the cars come back straight when they are new, right? And they are coming back from business or private leases, from lease companies, whether it's been a business lease or private lease. Obviously, then you have lease companies which has been, um, leased or financed, why manufacture themselves, right? And those obviously go back straight to the main dealer. The good ones they keep, and the non-good ones, which they decide, goes back to like auctions. Also, there's a bunch of fleets which will offload all of the fleet cars when they get into 3-4 year olds. Goes to, let's say, to the BCA, right? So, so these are the sort of situations, and what do they want to actually say about it? Yeah, so there will be rare traders, probably, who can turn over loads of stock, or who can actually purchase loads of stock. They will have some sort of priority list. It always are, you know. Um, but also they will have to buy all the junk, even whatever. If they buy everything, they'll get a good deal. You know, they buy off everything. But let's just not talk about like huge car supermarkets, right? Um, but just the ordinary trade, and majority of them just buying loads of junk. Majority of them, they don't really give a shit what they buy, right? They don't particularly look what they want. Some of them not even kind of wise what they're gonna sell. Some of them sell wide range of cars, which is just nonsense, right? So that means if you don't specifically sort of concentrate and specialize in some sort of cars, you have a wide range of choice, you know. So you go all out of junk because you can't be. You, it's impossible for you to know all the car problems, right? So that means simply because if they sell, let's say, between ordinary place sells about 30 cars, um, 30 cars a month, right? That can be considered, depends how many staff they have. If it's one salesperson, um, they can live okayish, right? Because they will have a cutback from finances if all of the 30 cars are sold on finances, you know, and then sort of average margin about £1,000 to £500 on a car. If they haven't bought a shit car, right? They have to spend a lot of money. They all have shit cars, right? There's everyone has a junk, right? Um, which they're never going to describe as junk. Or they spend too money on latent issues, um, diagnostic scans, and they can't find a problem because they've taken some sort of shit places to fix the cars. Whoever is the cheapest, you know. That's how majority operate. They're buying scrubs, you know, um, because they just desperately just need something back in a stock. You know, that's majority. They don't give a shit, right? Wherever they can get, they will buy and sell, you know, and that would be your average Joe car trader. Private, non-private, you know, registered, limited, you know, business. So that's what you need to understand, you know, and so you're gonna tell me now, from who should I buy the car? I don't know, you know. There's only very rare amount of people who want to get things right, and buying specific cars, and do the things right way, because their problems only starts from how they search the cars, how many problems actually they want in their lives as a trader, right? So if they buying the right cars, looking at the right thing, then the car will be kind of right? But if they buying just everything because let's say they win the bid on a like private auctions, like say, uh, I think everyone now does it, like Carwow does it. There's a motorway, right? And you're buying it from private individuals on a sort of auction type, and obviously the people who are earning the most money is the motorway and the Carwow, you know, because the car business is buy low, sell high, you know. So it takes a lot of time if you're individual and you have a, like I said, 2-3 salespeople. You need a purchaser who purchases the cars. It's if you're gonna phone and looking privately, it's just insanity, you know. It's just not viable, you know. Probably you can get one or two, you know, but also, as well, the salesperson's trade places rely on a trading due, you know, because the everyone who wants to buy the new car, they will have some sort of whether junk or something sensible or not, you know, to trade in, you know. So again, majority just take all the junk. They don't check those cars properly, you know, and just end up with basically a complete scrub, you know. And then they're gonna try sell on this, right? And saying, "Oh, it's a trading." It doesn't mean the trading. You got this trading. Doesn't matter. You're gonna buy it on auction. 5 cars. They're still tradings. You bought them. You know, it doesn't matter. It's a trading, or you bought it on auction, or you bought it from whoever, right? You just bought a car as part exchange. Same thing. You know, it's where you take give the guy a new car, get that car, and set against the value minus the value of that sort of junk, right? And then sell it on. Same way you just got the car, you know, so you had another car. So you don't have to go anywhere, right? So it means you still have to prep this car the same way. It doesn't matter, you know. You can't just say to the buyer, it's a trade-in. It's just stupid, right? So again, it comes to the point again. I'm just waffling it along. You can say, from who should we then buy the car? Who, you know, it's just three things you have to bear in mind as a buyer when you're searching. Your criteria simply should be like that, because searching for a car is a full-time job, right? Ignore the reviews. Ignore the trader reviews, because the most of them, even who sell shit cars, they have good reviews, right? So you can't differentiate who is shit and who is bad. Some people who has bad ones, they're obviously bad, but then you have somebody who not the. There's a lot of sellers who are not really switched on internet. They don't understand game, you know. So they're not really on our social media. They don't really follow up on the reviews, right? But that's a different ballgame. We'll get to that later. Three factors. If you want to cut your life misery, you know, and you don't want too much problems, because it's a full-time job, right? Full main dealer service, full main dealer service history, both keys, 1 or 2 keepers. Don't look anything older than 5 years. If you can't afford the car, don't buy it, because you will have no money to fix that car properly, right? Just don't. There's loads of people who want to show off. They can't. I mean, you can buy that car probably, which is sort of 15-year-old Range Rover. At that point, you probably can, you know, but you can't afford to maintain it, you know. So that's why buy something 3 to 5 years old if you don't want problems in your life. And the biggest average person keeps it 4 years, right? So it makes it 9. If you buy a 15-year-old Range Rover, junk, you know, keep it for 4 years, it's going to be 20 years old, 19, right? Or if you buy a 10-year-old car, you'll keep it, it's going to be 14 years old. There will be so many cars, you know, so that's why you have to. There is no cheap way entering into and buying something grandiose for $2,000. It just doesn't exist, right? Or buying Range Rover, 3, 4, 5-year-old car for 15-year-old Range Rover price. Yeah, it's just the delusion from the car buyers. So coming back, full main dealer service history, both keys, less possible keepers, obviously less possible miles, right? And then obviously when you phone these places around, obviously you will find the right cars, you know. But also when you will start searching, that will be your guide. If it doesn't have, you leave it. It doesn't matter. It's the best spec in the world, right? You don't judge by that. You judge by the history. So, and then you phone to the seller. If they say it's got full main dealer service history, and let's say it's 2-hour drive, just don't waste your time. Go and even look at the car. Let them send you that information, right? So you can see if it has full main dealer service history, and it has both keys. Verify that, you know, and then obviously ask who owned the car. It will be on the logbook, you know. Is it a private person? Is it being used for business? That will give you an idea what condition the interior and the bodywork is. Most of the stuff, some people who work on a brand and they just don't use phone pictures, right? Most of the car pictures what you see in Auto Trader, they will be photoshopped, so you can't really see exact how that color feels, right? The blemishes and dings and dents, you can't say it, and no one will ever say there is a ding dent, you know, even main dealers, right? So forget about it. So that will minimize your inconvenience. At least you will know you're kind of on the right car, you know. So coming back to the sellers, right? Again, even some one-man band could have a decent car, right? However, regards to from who you should be buying one is now we're gonna get to the point of dealership reviews, right? All the big supermarkets, they're paying shitty car review places monthly subscription where you could have unlimited invitations for reviews. So that means what these corporations do, you phone them, probably you'll be so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Every time I do phone somebody, they're sending me, can you leave me a review? Fuck off, man. You know, you haven't even done anything and you're asking me for a review. So what I just said, so they use these reviews in everything, in any communication, in anything what they send you, they will send you a link to leave them a review, right? So that's why you see those reviews, they got 20,000, 40,000. It's just because they have unlimited reviews and they sending them left, right, and center. Reason why is the Google, like let's say like Google reviews, it doesn't work because you can only leave the review from the Google account. Not many people has Google Gmail account, right? And you can only leave actually one review per on the business. You can't leave two. It's not allowing you to do two, right? So that's why you will see on these paid review platforms, doesn't matter whoever they are, they have paid things. So that means it's a paid, technically these are paid reviews, because if you have a free account, you're limited with how many invites you can send, right? So that's why you see like thousands of reviews on these supermarkets, because they pay for this nonsense. These technically are paid reviews, and they put review on every single stage, wherever, left, right, and center. So it's not like those reviews are from people who bought the cars, right? So that's why even that's why you can't differentiate who sells sort of good cars, who sells bad cars. Everyone will have shit cars, right? It just depends how they're dealing for it, right? But if they are bad sellers who selling terrible cars, right? And they will have good reviews too. I will guarantee you. And you can't really differentiate, you know? We have a blacklist of people. We warn people, you know? Just we don't recommend inspecting the car. If something very bad, we will just simply we will not send anyone to do the inspection from that place, you know? Because how badly unethical these people are, right? And how you can, your biggest, how to define that good car, right? Again, if you're a smart person, you want, like I said, just main dealer service history, both keys. That will be your guideline, right? And then asking where the car comes from, who owned it, you know, etc. So you know whether it's because you can have business cars, ex-mobility cars, it could be also taxi, any business use related vehicle from business lease, or obviously the private person's car who had it for 4 or 5 years will be always mostly would be always the best. They will look after that more, because if it's not your car, if it's a business lease, it's not even your own car, it's a company's car, you know, they don't give a shit, right? Sometimes there are multiple people swapping over, like on a short-term rental, long-term rental, you know, everyone will leave a ding, you know, everyone will leave a scratch, you know, so it means the bodywork will be tatty, like on ex-mobility cars, trashy bodywork, you know, flat paint, you know, excessive wear on all the trims and panels and inside in the car. So you can just see, you know, excessive wear on the steering wheel, you know. So this is what you want to scrub out, you know. And again, I said full main dealer service history. Ignore these supermarkets or wherever send you like Arval, right? It's business car, you know. It's been maintained, not even up to manufacturer specifications. Some of these cars haven't even been in a main dealer, right? So that means you have to be educated, right? And if you will stick to the thing, if everyone would stick to the main dealer service history, I will guarantee you car prices would shoot down, because no one will buy shit cars. And if those cars will be shit, they will be cheap, right? Because Everyone buys incorrect used car because they're buying quick fit service history, Halford service history, right? You mean, come on. This is what you don't want, you know, because of quality of parts, what they use, you know. At least you know from the main dealer. It doesn't mean they had a full main dealer service history on a 5-year-old car, right? And let's say outside of warranty, gearbox failed or disc and pads needs doing, they will not fix more likely the car at the main dealer because of the cost. They will find alternative like a specialist only, and they'll fix the right play for the same good quality at specialist. Let's say Peugeot specialist or Renault, doesn't matter. One and done, and it will be done. It doesn't mean that the car has to be repaired at that main dealer. You know, you can save the money, but don't take the Tom, Dick, and Harry to fix the car. You know, don't mean you have a Tom, Dick, and Harry repair quality. You know, that's it. So you haven't saved anything. You just wasted your money, and you'll pay twice because there will be shit quality repair. Very simple. So if you're just browsing around searching for seller, obviously pay attention to the reviews. But I said, people who are shit, you'll probably find who are shit. But some of them, like I said, they don't follow up on their reputation. They're not good at internet. They don't use it. They don't know, you know. But whoever has 3.8, you know, it's a red flag already, right? So you just don't entertain it, you know. But whoever has like 4.8, you know, 4.2, 4.3, again, you don't know. It depends on how many reviews they have, you know. I seen people who has 50 reviews, and I know they selling shit cars, man. You know, I just know, you know. I've been there, you know, etc. But research with Google Street View. Look where the business is, how it looks, where it is. Avoid these when it comes shit business names, right? Prestige, luxury, performance, right? Cars for less, cars for you, cheap cars for you, you know, specialist in used cars, you know. This is just bullshit. You know, it just screams I'm selling all the junk from the BCA, from auctions, you know, all the shitty, not prepared cars. You know, it just screams for that. You know, I'm just telling you. I check the cars for living, and I see that. You know, when you're looking at Google Street View, shitty, scruffy place, right? Port cabin, you know, in some sort of terrible industrial area, or it's in some office building where the car's in some sort of car park, you know. Um, it's not easily accessible. It's on some sort of farm, locked up gates, appointments only. It just screams you can't access them easily when the problems start, right? So look environments like Big Motoring World, right? I have been there several times. I don't want to buy a car from there, you know, because you need to park the car somewhere completely in different car park. When you're walking through, it feels like a prison. They got big gates. You're walking through like an alley. It just feels like you're not welcome there. You know, it just feels scary. You know, and it's just I wouldn't buy the cars from that. It's just, you know, you want to walk in like in a main dealer atmosphere. You know, you take a seat. You know, they're easily always accessible. There's no like obstacle, so they limit and restraint your entrance, you know. So you want that sort of sensation, right? So that's why research the seller, look on a street view, where are they placed, right? So anything luxury performance sellers, you know, where they're covering, taking pictures by the trees in some sort of mild atmosphere, right? And they're covering the plates, so they want to look like they're selling luxury cars, but their name says luxury performance already. It just screams problems, right? And what you and like I said, there's not covered number plates. When you go on their website, all the number plates are covered. Red flag. you know, and they portray themselves as a boutiques, you know. And when you look on the street view, there's an ex-council place. It's a council estate. The guy's selling cars from home, right? Which is fine, but I never had dealings with any with people like that who has so good cars, right? You know, if you want to create your reputation, just sell good cars. Then choose where you got name bespoke, right? Oh man, you know, you have a look on any brand. Does the Primark says the cheapest whatever cars, the dress sellers? No, they're creating a brand, right? Like any other luxury, they don't say in their names performance luxury, you know, luxury diamond sellers, right? Yeah, like banks, you know, they don't sell. They have we have the best luxury money to give you, you know. No, it just goes like Stripe, right, or anything doesn't come into my mind, or Rebel. You know, they don't just say like stupid names. You know, that should be your red flag. The way the car business is called, you know, the most stupidest name you can see, it's a red flag. You know, cheap cars. You know, as I explained you before, all those characters. You know, what you should be looking at. It's just screams the leftovers we have. You know. And then obviously when you're the person who do obviously exchange the verbal dialogue over the phone, see how they treat you, you know. um, because everything about buying a car starts from the it's a cycle. It starts from the beginning with the interactions, right? Do they send you requested information quick enough? Do they respond to that communication quick enough? If they don't, they're not interested. They don't give a shit. That's simple, you know. Oh yeah, we'll send you later, or they don't respond, just ignore it. You know, don't force yourself. Don't be desperate. All your problem starts. But your problem starts because you're desperate, right? And and that is basically the problem. Next, when you visit the places, look at the premises. Let me try and get 3 examples which are red flags. Let's say it's a one man band place, um, somewhere, some sort of small, some sort of farms, you know. Um, let's say in London, um, Slough or Romford, you know, where they have like a business place and they don't have proper like a sales forecourt, right? The cars are somewhere hidden, you know, you can't really find them easily. But when you have a dialogue, let me just get 3 examples, which should be red flag. When they overly, politely, ethically sort of kind, you know, where they talk that a bit slow, you know, they try to, it just feels like unnatural, right? Offering you everything, offering you this, offering that. You're not you're not in a Ritz, right? Or you're not in a 5-star Michelin restaurant, right? Where the etiquette requires that, right? Where you pay for the service, right? Um, not when you're going into the Holiday Inn, right? So that overly polite, that sneeze balling, right? Feeling, you know. Reason I'm saying because I experienced that and I know everyone who acts that way, red flag, you know, because they use that interaction as disguise because car have problems. They just clear the faults. right? And you, as you will drive off, you have warning lights, and they will use the same tactic. Oh, we are sorry, we apologize, we didn't even know, things that happen, we never do this. It's out of it is out of character, we don't never does it, it's the first time ever happened. I guarantee you this is what's gonna happen, and being on these places, the cars are shit, right? The car's been just rectified, faults just cleared, and you do the inspections, the warning lights coming on, there's thousands of faults, there's nothing has been done. They try to show you the service history, which become a bunch of whatever. You look, there's so many money has been spent on this car. You're buying a junk. The big repairs, especially which are recent, within months or 2 3, even a year, it's a red flag. And then you look at the repairers, some sort of random place, it just doesn't look good. Just walk away, and once you are there, right, everyone starts acting like, getting friendly with the seller. That's what they want, for you to get friendly, right? And because you get emotionally attached, you get emotionally sort of kind of maybe even obliged, right, to him. He's wasting time on you. You look at the car and then you need to sort of buy it, right? Never buy the car on the same day, ever, right? if if something felt off, ignore it, don't buy it. Get an inspection. If everything what I described before matches what I'm saying, just don't waste your time on even inspection, right? Just don't waste your time. If it feels off, it is off, and it will be off. Simple. It is just classic example, and people are ignoring that, right? Also, if you are that type of person who just want to double check, you can send an inspection out, but just get ready what's gonna happen. Secondly, you know, a bit of main dealer setting, where the seller, yeah, the car is great. How they waffle. It's just people just waffle, and I just hate that. Why can't you just say exactly what it is, the way the car is? If you don't like it, say you don't like it. It's not a new car. It's a used car. And you as a consumer, you want to buy the right thing, what is right for you. That's what's right for them. They will say, yeah, it's a great car, it's an amazing car, you will love it. It's just gonna go wrong. Main dealers sell poor cars too. I guarantee you. Um, don't rely on the Consumer Rights Act. You will spend loads of money, awful loads of um, time wasting. For the things because you haven't checked. When you buy something used, it's your consumer right to inspect it, check it, do whatever you need, right? Check it, right? We'll do the pre-purchase inspection, or force the seller to send it to the main dealer. It depends on the car. Whatever you do just to protect it. You rather pay the money now, even if the car turns out to be a bag of shit. You rather know that, right, than buying it and then try to pretend like everyone else in this world. We know Consumer Rights Act. Look, I know consumer rights more than anyone. Consumers, right? Most sellers know this more than you know. Please don't be the person who say, I know the Consumer Rights Act. You're an idiot, right? Sorry. You know? It's not about what you know. You might know, but it's gonna cost you money, remember. You know? And by acting like you have the balls bigger than your head, right? And you will lose the case because you have ego problems. It's gonna be your problem, because not everything is bad. It's a used car. It has to be satisfactory quality. Not because you decide, I don't like it, I have a dent, or I got this, I got that. Some stupid stuff, right? Why you bought a car if you've seen that stuff? There are consumers like that. But like I said, I'm not talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Problems. Where the car has rattles, where they hiding engine problems in developing stage, faults cleared just now or not even rectified, or basically car which is not of satisfactory quality already at the time of the purchase, right? It's not even ready for sale. I'm talking about these examples, where they're literally taking piece, you know. And that's majority, you know. That's majority. I'm not talking about for every seller, you know. If you're a seller listening, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about your colleagues, right? You know, and that's majority. Like I said, majority don't care. You know, um, what can be a third example? Probably third example would be probably the most fairest, where they don't push you, right? They allowing you to make a decision. They might allowing you to have a look at the car. They're allowing you to take your time. But remember, they don't do it because they do it out of politeness. They are doing it out of politeness. They're allowing you to make your own decision. They don't pushing you. But they understand that psychology, right? Everyone understands that because they can't sell you the car if you don't want it. They can only persuade you if you're unsure. If you're unsure, just don't come out. You might not even be in the right car. You haven't even driven that. It's just your stupid ideas sometimes. Stupid ideas sometimes for the consumer uh, creates the big mistakes, right? Because you might not even need that car. You know, because um, I will return to this later. But yeah, it doesn't mean because they're not pushy, you can trust them and buy it. Probably it's the most fairest way, right? But make sure you check it. If you don't know anything about cars, just don't commit on the same day. Remember, they're not checked. They haven't been in properly through the workshop. They haven't been rectified. They don't even know whether the car has problems or not. That's 9 of the 10 cars. They never prepped. They're never ready for sale. Remember, you know. So don't just jump on. You making the mistakes happen because you are needy. They don't need it, but you because you acting desperate, you are needy. You just acting. You're calling them 5 times a day. I want this car. I want this car. I want this car. No, you don't. Trust me, you don't. It's just a junk. Right? Remember, the car is just a junk. You know, according to Society of Motor Manufacturers, right? SMMT. Can't remember how that what they stand for, but let's leave it as that. Nearly 8 million used cars are sold, right? Every year. So you're never gonna miss on a car. Let they sell it. If they say we have other people interested, let them, right? If they're rushing you and make an illusion, just you will find this car somewhere else. You know, don't get clingy on a spec, right? You know, sometimes when you start looking specific cars, they're quite rare, right? They're not many on the market, you know, when it comes to some sort of BMs or Mercs, some sort of specific specs or Bentleys or Porsches, you know. Forget about it. It's just a used car, remember. When you buy a new car, you can spec it the way you want it. They will wait for you. They will kiss your ass, right? But you're going to pay for it. You got a brand new stuff. That's where you can act emotional, desperate, but because you're specing it for you. When you buy a new car, it's just a junk. After 3 months, trust me, you wouldn't even care. It has electric seats or don't, right? You will not even wash it. That's most of the people for you. Right? I'm just saying, because you don't have time. You're busy. You know, after 3 months, the car will be already old. If you're going to buy a 10-year-old car, thinking you're buying a new car, after 3 months, you feel it's just a piece of shit. It's old junk already. You know, that's how it happens. Don't get emotionally attached. It's just a car. So your job is to find the best car, at least 9 of the 10 times. Main deal sales history, both keys. You know, that will be the safest best for the average buyer. You know, I'm not talking about people who want to show off, drive the car they can't afford, you know, they can't afford to repair and maintain, you know. They're the first people who will complain about everything. You know, you sold me a shit car, you know. They didn't even pay the money to the inspector. You know, that's just a classic thing. And buy the right car and use it, you know. So remember, your job as a consumer to buy less problems as possible. If you're gonna act desperate, behave desperate, there's so many sharks out there who will take your money without blinking an eye selling you piece of shit with rattling engine. Or after driving 10 miles, the warning lights will come on. I guarantee you. You know, so that's why I'm saying again, avoid weird business names. Cheap, cars for less, the best cars, amazing cars, cheap cars, limited, whatever, everything which starts performance, luxury, bespoke, red flags, it's a wrong way to advertise the business, trust me, you know, when you go to places view, everything looks scruffy, cars dirty, shitty environment, shitty place, don't have proper sales forecourt, one man band, council estates, area stereotyping, Essex, Romford. I mean, Romford isn't Essex. West London, Northwest London. Everyone has the stereotypes. So you need to find a clean environment for the car. You need to find a good seller. You know, so that's what I'm saying. When you search, your criteria should be main dealer service history, so you avoid the problems. You know, why I'm saying you need a full main dealer service history. At least you know the car had quality parts fitted at least for basic maintenance, right? If you're gonna buy some shitty cars with shitty quick fit servicing or something and there's no servicing, remember, every extended warranty will reject your claims. That's why you want full main dealer service history. If you have a part service history and engines will fail, turbos will fail, or something gonna break down, I guarantee the car will break down. Because it's a used car, and every new car breaks down. You should remember that. You should understand that. And if you ignore these factors, remember, none of the extended warranties will save you. The extended warranty will, they will replace alternator, starter motor, maybe 12-volt battery on the warranty, or water pump because it's leaking. But when it will come to the serious stuff, you want full main dealer service history or a specialist only. You don't want Halfords, Quick Fit, or some sort of lease company owned servicing, like Lombard or wherever who's selling, and then they're printing you all the service and you're buying a commercial rig or something. This is what you don't want, right? So if you will be smart, you will make the right decisions, you will have less problems in your life, right? Doesn't mean you always have to do the inspection, but at least it protects you just in case there are problems. Because what main dealers do and sellers do is they know there is a problem, they will not use their money as a used car budget to prep this car. Because why would they have to? What they're gonna do is knowingly know there is an issue, it will come on at something, and you're gonna complain at some point, you're gonna find out. They will then do this under that sort of warranty, and they will put this on a warranty company, right? Where they should be selling. Technically, if you read the terms on every extended warranty or warranty, if there are pre-known problems, they're not gonna cover it. So they abusing their own warranties, right? To cover it later. But it's inconvenience for you, right? So that's why buying a car is, if there are things wrong, let them fix it. You don't want to buy the car after a month there is a problem, taking it back, leaving the car. You want to use it. So that's why you want full main dealer service history, service done, timing belt done, everything done, extended warranty on it. You drive. Technically, any good car, which is good car, they should last you 2 years without big sort of problems, right? You do your annual service, annual maintenance, and you drive. Obviously, you might have some sudden mechanical, electrical sort of failure or something. No one is safe. Like I said, new cars break down, but this is where I hope you understand where I'm coming from, right? So that's why. If you follow the basics, and if you don't act desperate, emotional, oh, I need a car in 2 weeks' time. We have people that, oh, I need a car too. Look, it's a full-time job. You're not going to find it. Yes, you can find it, the biggest junk or wherever. If it's a 10-year-old car, you need to look for yourself for 10 cars. Because you know how the body works are. It's just shit, interior shit, It's just like, well, this is what you're going to get. I need car in 1 week. You can get car in 1 week or 2 weeks, brand new. Or piece of shit. And then you're gonna complain because you got shit car because you didn't consider buying a car smart way. And also, let's say you're the person who thinks and you know the law better than anyone else. Right? There's many people, plenty out there, think that we know the law. Everyone knows, right? Some people know more even better than you. So sellers will know. Some sellers, not everyone. They know things better than you know. They don't care. If you take them to court, they take them to court. They will win or lose. They don't give a shit. They got warranty. I mean, they have insurances, right? Insurances in place, right? Uh, Liability. They have legal protection. Who cares? You know, there are some people who just wanna think they know everything, and uh, I went to court for basically the sake of going because the people are stupid. You know, I will do that. If I'm wrong, I will get it right. If I know I'm not wrong, I will stonewall you to death. I will go to the courts and I will win it. I done it. I'm just like if you're a consumer and you're thinking you're gonna play the game with inspections, remember we know things better, 100 times better than you know. So that's what I'm saying. If you play daft and you're stupid, right? You think you know everything, and you think you um, um, can take everyone for court for just the sake of thinking because you have ego problems. More than welcome. So that means the way you're gonna treat seller, they will treat you, right? If you're gonna act and shout and scream, remember, no one will help you. I guarantee you. If you act with integrity and respect, yeah, and if you stop bitching and demanding like you deserve anything, right? And you bought a piece of shit for 2 grand, I'm sorry to say that, but if you act like that as you are a Supreme Court judge, right, and you know everything, but your car is £1,000, £2,000 Nissan Micra, remember you will get exactly the same attitude back. So just act with reasonable understanding, and remember, these type of people who I just mentioned, they will lose their claim because they don't have any valid proof, right? And even in a consumer rights act, even judge will tell you, right? It's not I'm making stuff off, making stuff up. You have reasonable expectations on the car. You can't just listen what the seller's saying. You have to have reasonable expectations on the car, right? If it's a 10-year-old car, what you can expect. If you don't, it is sort of your problem, unless it's some serious issues, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about where people just complain about stupid stuff, right? You have to remember, it's a used goods, right? And they have to be in a satisfactory condition. Satisfactory condition is like completely different to 50 people, right? There's no definition for satisfactory condition. It has to be satisfactory. Every every circumstance is different, and every circumstance has got circumstantial evidence with it. Every situation has a different agreements, arrangements between you and the seller, what you agreed, how you agreed, what you expressed, and if you said you understand it's modified car, and then you're gonna sue them for if it's they sold you a modified car and you didn't know, you're gonna lose your claim. I guarantee you. So don't act like if they explain you everything in honest way, but no one does, right? If they'll say you there is an engine problem, that's why we're selling you for 4 grand cheaper, let's say, right? There is a problem, you will need to do it, but the car's still usable, right? And you buy it, and then you decide that you sold me a shit car. Once you're gonna go to, I guarantee you're gonna lose it. So I'm just bear in mind what you do, how you behave, so you don't look like an idiot. I've seen so many cases where people then been left like idiots because they didn't took an advice, they didn't listen to the opinion, because they think they know everything. So yeah, so remember that sellers see that on an everyday basis. I don't defend traders who deliberately do that and deliberately selling substandard cars where they don't even prep them properly. They leave them with faults. They actually literally, as they bought it in auction, they didn't even should do a service, right, or cleaning properly, and they're selling it, right? Which where anyone can then you'd rather just buy the car privately on eBay, not from the trade, in that sort of condition. But I'm not talking about these people where they are a lot. So that's what I'm saying. look how they treat you, look on their premises. Don't sometimes get baffled by how nice the premises are. Look how they communicate between each other, right? If it's a bigger place, it's just important, but your main goal is full main dealer service history wherever you buy. That's the safest bet. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but at least it will protect you from less problems. If you're the person who doesn't know anything about the cars and you need opinion, get it inspected. You can book an inspection on carxml.com, or you can ask anyone else. Don't ask your dad to check it, right? Pay somebody to do it and do it properly, right? Remember, the sellers might not even allow you, because if you're gonna take your friend, right? Because remember, somebody does something to their car, so they need also a reputable place who they can trust, right? And we have the trust, not any. Why would I need to? If you want to buy a car from me, why would I allow you? I don't know that person. He comes in some sort of shitty £30 diagnostic scanner who can mess up the car systems, right? God knows where he bought it from, China or something. Versus professional diagnostic scanner, right? There's a big difference, how you're gonna behave and who's gonna come and check the car on the premises. Well, clearly, if it's somebody you bring it with you, and to check it mechanically and electrically, the more likely they will not allow you, because you're not a qualified person, right? So you need to understand that too. So you need appropriate person. So even that guy might work for the, I don't know, Aston Martin engine plant, right? Or he's been an tire changer in an F1, wherever. If you don't have the right equipment with you, you can't check the car properly. You can just have like a church feeling, You go to the church, felt good. The car felt good, yeah. If you don't know what to do, you can't check it. So this is how traders will deal with you or treat you, and the problems you need to, how you can save yourself from problems. Avoid your places. If the place looks shit, terrible, scruffy, dirty, uh, one man bad, council estate, again, remember the business brandings, how they sound. It just screams problems, right? Um, remember trust. Remember the review platforms. They can have a good reviews, but they can sell bad cars, because they can just simply. There are so many unethical people. They will just use fake reviews, just and will top it up, you know, and or you can't find even their reviews anywhere. They don't have anything about their business name, about the branding on a Google search. They have nothing. Red flag. Um, if it's some sort of shady small place and they don't even have a Google business, right? Um, and when you read reviews, when you read bad reviews, read what's in the review, how serious it was. So that means where the people who's been that badly affected, they will leave serious sort of concern, right? And you will have an idea what they do, And when you leave the positive reviews, where somebody leaves weird reviews, where when you read, who would leave an insane review about a used car? No one gives a shit, you know. It's when you read it, you can see when it sort of doesn't make any sense. Who would leave review like that for used car when he bought it? No one, in his real mind. So that's why be careful. Somebody could leave that crazy review about, I don't know, his vacation. When he's been in a Turkey or in Ibiza. In some nice place, not about the car. People will, yeah, thanks, it was a good car. That's it. Because I hate leave reviews. Because I've been pushed, because I called somebody and they're asking me about how was the phone call today? Just fuck off, man. I don't care. I just needed to ask you a question, yes or no. I don't care how was the thing. To me, customer service means it's not how nice you talk on a phone. if you said the car is good, it's in a good condition, we checked it, um, and I said I will meet you at 1. You know, I've been there at 1, and my car meets the description. You bought it, and you leave the review. The car was great, right? That is that is a service. Whatever you say, you do. You know, if you said you're gonna be there, if you said about a car, it's gonna be this. If you said to the customer, we're gonna deliver it at that time, or if you said you're gonna, I will call you at that time, and you do, you stick what you say you do. You know, that's ethics. You know, and and that's how you build, if you're a car trader, your brand. You know, I hope it helps. You know, so when you say you do, and if you do describe the car, it matches the description. But none of these cars matches the description, whatever they advertise on all these like motors or whatever, Auto Trader. Everyone looks an Auto Trader, right? If it's not as described, you're not. It's not a good service. You know, it's just shit. You know, it's simple. So that means describe your car. You know, people value honesty more than anything else. And if you tell them like there are problems, like I said to you before, you will steer away people who don't want that, but you will attract people who are okay. You know, and at least they see the honesty, and they will buy it because it meets their description and you've been honest. You know, that's how you grow your reputation. That's how you as a trader, you grow your return return sales, right? It That's the most cheapest way how to grow your business, you know, on repeat business. Because everyone, if they had a good service and you said you will do this, you'll fix that, or you sold this, whatever, that's what customer understands as a good service, and he will come back, you know, because it's difficult to find good people. It's difficult to find good people who say and do what they meant, and they're being correct and rectified, and it was as described, right? It's difficult. So that's why it is difficult to find a good used car sellers, you know, because most don't give a shit. Take care.